welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rebecca Berger. This is Justice for All, where you get to hear from legal professionals in the surrounding area. We have a really amazing guest tonight, Jeffrey Miller from Pillinger Miller Tarallo. Jeff, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us, Rebecca. Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you here tonight. So you really handle civil cases from the defense perspective at this time, correct?
Correct.
And what type of cases do you normally handle?
We're a full-service defense litigation firm. We are a regional firm with offices that cover the full state of New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut. We cover everything from asbestos to workers' compensation and everything in between. But we specialize in construction litigation, coverage, a lot of bar, tavern, restaurant, habitational, environmental, professional liability, auto trucking, all civil tort, general liability litigation. But we take it very seriously, and we become experts in truly getting these cases settled and leading our colleagues in moving these cases towards resolution. Our clients are looking for a quick, amicable, early resolution. And that's what we're doing. And if somebody's responsible for somebody else's injuries, these clients are looking to fairly compensate and settle those cases as quickly and cost effectively as they can, and taking into account the liability portion of this as well as the damages. And our firm, something that we specialize in and we take great pride in, is every day at 3 o'clock we have what's called the roundtable. We have a roundtable every day at 3. I'm permitting, everybody's schedules, but we have senior partners, trial attorneys, handling attorney. Every case from a $15 case to a $150 million case goes through this roundtable process, and all of these heads are put together and cases presented, and we give an opinion on what we think a fair settlement value is of the case and what potential jury exposure is on this case. And we take that very importantly, and I think our clients use that to their ability to gauge their exposure on these cases and assist in these prompt resolutions.
It seems to me you take more of a personal view of this in the sense that you recognize, like, look, you do come from the defense perspective, but things happen. Things happen and injuries occur. There is no magic formula. There's no magic scale there's no chart that says, okay, if you lose an arm, it's worth X amount of money. But it sounds like you, as a firm, sit together and try to figure out, let's look at the liability, let's look at the medicals.
Absolutely, and you're right. You're right, Rebecca. There is no formula. And I interned for a judge who was a great man, Judge Michael Donson in New York. He was counsel to Mayor Lindsay. That's how old this gentleman was, and great judge. And he used to say, do you want to settle this case? He was a big settler, big proponent. He's one of the first mediators at JAMS a million years ago. And he said, do you want to settle this case, or do you want 6 people in the box who know nothing about this business deciding what this case is worth? And it resonated. And it was a point in time that we realized that these cases are important. They're people's lives, and you have to move them along. And from the smaller injury to the larger injury, we've really taken it to a point where on every case we spend a lot of time, and it's a value added that our firm does. And we analyze the liability, the damages. Many times there's strategy that comes out. Somebody will say, do a social media check. Hey, did you speak with this kind of an expert? And then we talk about what we think a settlement value is and what a verdict value is, and the exposure on these cases. And we value, the time we're spending doing this, and our clients really appreciate it because it's been super accurate. It really has.
Well, and I can't imagine, not everybody has the same opinion. It's almost like a mini jury to some extent, obviously with some legal training, but, saying to yourself, honestly, I'm hearing this case for the first time. This is my perspective on that.
It's so true. And we try to break it up within the firm as to what type of people, but we use, there's usually over 150 collaborative years of experience in that room. And for instance, the other day, we did a horrific injury case, unfortunately, a bad construction accident. And there were 7 of us in the room. And we ended up telling the carrier we thought the settlement value was $17.5 million. And of the people in the room, there wasn't even that large of a spread what people thought, and everybody's individually, and they write it down so they don't get tainted what the other people said. And these numbers have really proven over time to be very reliable. They really have, and we bank on that.
So if someone wanted to retain your services, how would they get a hold of you?
Terrific. They can always email me at jmiller, M-I-L-L-E-R, at P as in Peter, M as in Mary, T as in Tom, lawfirm.com, or main phone number, 914-703-6300.
Jeff, it has been a pleasure to speak to you, and it's so refreshing to hear, a firm so, really dedicated to moving through these cases.
Thanks so much for having us, truly.
Thank you. This is Justice for All. I'm Rebecca Berger, and we'll see you back next week.